How's everybody doing tonight? I first want to say thank you for letting me come out here tonight and share my story. I'm afraid mine kind of lacks in the humor department. My story is about perseverance. And so, my name's Dyer. I'm 23 years of age. I'm a senior economics major at the University of Georgia currently. And my story kind of starts, from the beginning, of course, but we'll skip all the way to 17. So, when I was 17, I had the biggest dreams, the biggest ambitions. I was an Eagle Scout, or I just achieved my Eagle Scout. I was working in the Dream Team. Me and my high school buddies, we'd run these FBLA competitions. That's the Future Business Leaders of America. It's a program designed for high school students to kind of get some minor exposure into the business world and just see what it's about. And I got to say, they lied about a lot of that stuff. But no, I had some great moments and some great memories. And I'd say, my first one starts on my 18th birthday. And so me and my friends, we run the state competition. We make first in the state for management decision making. And, it was the first time I'd ever been on stage, and it was an incredible feeling, I will say. And the whole time I was up there, my phone was just buzzing and buzzing and buzzing. And so I run off stage and make my way to the hallway, and it's my pop. And he called to let me know that my uncle had committed suicide that day. And I got to say, my joy quickly ended, and it hit a rough spot. Now, let me just say this too. This had happened about a month after I was kicked out of my house, and so at this point I was actually homeless. Now, luckily, I never had to sleep under the bridge like I'd planned or join any of the programs that were available to me at the time, but I did have some good friends that were willing to welcome me into their home, and I spent the rest of my senior year wrapping it up with them. Actually, one of the guys from the Dream Team I was with that night, and so it was an incredible feeling to be up on that mountain, and then I fell right off the cliff. And so, it continued on. I really, I've been working for college for a long time, but at that point, I didn't know how I was going to do it. I didn't know how I was going to get there. But being homeless, it was just tumultuous. My years forward thinking turned into the next day, the next hour, the next meal, the next place I was going to be able to sleep that night. And, I just didn't know what to do. Now, luckily, my academics had come through, and I got a good state scholarship, and obviously I'm here tonight in front of you guys in Athens. Woo! But, the issues didn't stop there. I spent the first year, it was all right. The typical ups and downs, getting used to the whole thing, and finding myself in a college town with 36,000 kids that look like me, think like me, talk like me. It was weird. I came from a farm town, and to be a part of these, tons of these impressive people, I really started feeling like an imposter. And I jumped into internships, any opportunity I could get into. And my first internship was pretty good. I was a salesman. It opened me up. It let me travel the country a little bit, and I got to see some amazing things. And so the point here, kind of the pinnacle here of my story. So, and this one's a little rough. I apologize, but I spent a summer in Florida leading a team of sales interns, and it was 2020, COVID. I had no idea what we were going to do. Our execs were talking about actually dropping the program. It wasn't going to work out. But with some quick thinking and a great team, me and my team were able to achieve pretty much a record for the program. And we gained $2 million in annual revenue for the franchisees. And again, I was back up on that mountain. There was $50,000 in bonuses I was supposed to be able to collect. It was incredible. All the things that I'd worked for, being homeless, not knowing what I was going to do, everything was just solved like that. And I thought everything was going to be great. And last week of the internship, I'd say by the grace of God, there was this one night, my Airbnb ran up, the hotel wasn't working, they were overbooked, and I found myself on a beach. I had nowhere to go, and I was back down again. And I walked down this stretch, And I mean, it's crazy. I look up, there's the moon, there's Mars. I believe it was Saturn in a line. I'm not an astrologer, I'm sorry. But I just remember having this overwhelming feeling that everything was lined up and I was about to see something that I was supposed to see, and I was in the right moment at the right time. And not a moment later, I look down the beach and I see this huge thing just crawling up out of the ocean off the moonlight. I was scared. I had no idea what the heck this thing was. I'm a lake boy. I don't go to the ocean. There's sharks and stuff. But it was a sea turtle. And I got to watch this sea turtle come up and lay its eggs, and it was a beautiful moment. Honestly, I couldn't believe it. I left there, and I tried sleeping in a Walmart parking lot. It didn't work. I was still just so overwhelmed. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. Again, just couldn't even sleep just thinking about it. And I saw this, so I'm driving down the interstate and I see this car flip ahead of me. And so I run to the scene. I'm an Eagle Scout again. Like I think I'm prepared. Like I feel like I'm prepared. And I run to this vehicle. It's on fire, and I can't find the driver. There's nobody inside the vehicle. And long story short, I find this 23-year-old on the side of the ground, gasping for his last breaths. And I did everything I could to save him, but it did not work out. And I spent the next 3 hours there writing statements as he just sat there. And it was a really, really difficult time for me, and I've actually never spoke about it. But no, it continued on. You know, I didn't know where to go. The company I'd worked for, the $50,000 bonus, they deleted my email, they quit talking to me. Everything fell at once. And I had no idea where I was going to go, and I was back down to square zero. So I spent the next year really trying to find myself. I felt alone, felt hopeless. But in those moments of like aloneness, I was able to kind of start thinking, and I started getting closer to my family again. And I started thinking about the people that were before me and the challenges that I'd faced. And so I did my best to scrape the money that I did have left, and I created a scholarship at my old high school. It wasn't much, but if anything, I was a bridge, a connection, a support, something that they could look for the next years to come. And I've now addressed, earlier this year was my third scholarship to those high school kids. And so it's been an incredible journey, and from that moment on, I knew I wanted to be kind of in the nonprofit space and to be able to give and to inspire, and I was able to, and I'm running over my time here, so I'll wrap it up quick. But so I joined a club at the University of Georgia, the Terry Student Philanthropy Council. From there, I've been able to reach out with people, really feel rooted again. I've lost that touch of imposter syndrome. I'm here for a 6th year, so I'm really trying to make it work. But I'm happier than I've ever been, and I feel more stable and more secure and much more just interested in the future ahead. And that all started by being able to give. And I'm in a great spot, and God's blessed me in incredible ways, and the ability to testify to you guys tonight. And the scholarship, I named it the Perseverance Scholarship because, whatever life throws at you, you don't have to be the brightest, you don't have to be the smartest, you don't have to be the tallest, the most athletic, but if you're willing to persevere, you can get through anything. And so that's why I've created the Perseverance Scholarship. You can find more about me on the perseveranceFund.com. It's the thing the nonprofit that I made up. Not made up, you know what I mean. But it's been an incredible journey, and I've won awards, and I've been back on track, and I'm just more than proud than ever to be alive and to be here with you guys tonight. And so again, thank you guys for this opportunity to speak to you, and remember to persevere through anything.